Call to order the Winthrop Town Council meeting for December 19th, 2023. It is 6 o'clock. We are in the Harvey Hearing Room. Denise, call the roll, please.
Okay, for the last time, Councilor Honan.
Here.
Councilor Fusillo. Councilor Munson.
Here.
Councilor Belcher.
Here.
Councilor DeMarco.
Here.
Councilor Flockhart. Here. For the last time. Councilor Aiello.
Here.
Vice President Ruggiero.
Here.
President Lettieri.
Here. Please rise for the pledge, led by Councilors Honan, Ruggiero, and Flockhart.
Nice.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jim taught me the pledge again. That's big.
All right. As we start, I just want to read a quick statement from the town council. Winthrop Town Council was deeply disturbed and unequivocally condemned the recent display of anti-Semitic hate speech that occurred at our last council meeting. Such expressions of hatred and bigotry have no place in our community and are an affront to the values we in this town are so proud of. Winthrop is proud to be home to a rich and vibrant Jewish community. We recognize the fear and pain that such incidences cause, not only to our Jewish residents, but to all who stand against hatred and discrimination. We, the Winthrop Town Council, stand firmly against all forms of hatred. We pledge to combat bigotry, support the education of our community, and work to foster an environment where all individuals, regardless of their faith or background, feel safe, valued, and respected. In line with this commitment, we emphatically state, hate has no home here. We call upon all residents of Winthrop to join us in embracing this principle. It is through our collective efforts that we can confront and overcome hatred in all forms and ensure that our community remains a place of tolerance, understanding, and mutual respect. Minutes have been circulated from the December 5th meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Councilor Belcher, second by Councilor DeMarco. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We have no general information recommendations. We have no public hearings. There will be 2 rounds of public comment. Round number 1 is up. Yes, state your name and precinct, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nellie. I live in Precinct 5. After I spoke at the last town meeting about the anti-Semitism that I've personally experienced and that my family has experienced, I was certainly not expecting you all to have your own experience with the Zoom bombing attack at our last meeting. My heart breaks for all of us. I'm so sorry that you all had to see that and to go through that. And I'm sorry for myself as well to live in this world. But I'm also really grateful. I'm really thankful that Rabbi Ben was here to speak to the council and to talk to everyone after and to follow up. And I'm so thankful actually to all of you for this past Hanukkah. I was so happy I saw so many of you showing up at Temple Tiferet and honoring Sandy and Vinnie Pellegrino. And I saw so many of you at the public menorah lighting singing with us. I feel really strengthened and lifted up as a Jewish person in this community, even in light of that horrible attack. And I feel even more certain of the statement I made last week. The only flag I need to represent me is the American flag. My country can be for Jews and for all people. When we start sorting people into states, Jewish state, Christian state, Islamic state, Hindu state, we set everyone up for a state of unbelonging and of exclusion. This community proved to me this week, these past 2 weeks, that we can be a town for everyone, we can all live together, like imperfectly, but together. And I see no issue with the town's flag policy. The council heard input from the community and made a decision, exactly as a representative council should. I think these issues divide us, and I'm really looking forward to next session, even though I'll miss some of you. Because maybe we can work on something that unites us, like maybe lowering our town's water bills. And thank you, everyone. And I would also ask if you wouldn't mind continuing to support Temple Tippett and the Jewish community that we have here. It really means a lot to us, and we always do feel a little under attack.
Thank you, Nellie, for your very eloquent remarks. Next. Yes.
Yes, I'll go. Karina Campobasso, Precinct 3. I'm just here to thank all of you, but especially Councilors Honan, Flockhart, and Ruggiero for your service. I know it's a completely thankless job, and you probably get a lot more complaints than you do compliments, and I'm here to say thank you to all of you, but especially the three who are leaving. I think you're all great. You're doing doing a great job, and as a Winthrop town resident who thinks it's, I just want to see this town succeed and everyone get along and, everyone be happy and we confront our issues. I just want to thank you all, but again, especially Councilors Honan, Flockhart, and Ruggiero. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karina.
Yes.
I'd just like to
President
echo
Gill.
the sentiments of, I've been on that side of the table, and I hope you guys will come to this side of the table.
All of us?
But
No, not all of us.
Not yet.
No, you have to stay.
Thank you.
I appreciate what you've done to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marcy?
Hi, Marcy Hamilton, Precinct 2. I think I'm a little disheveled right now, but I want to also thank the outgoing council people for their service. And I also have put a bag together of several ideas that I would like to move forward in the next year that would, I think, address some of your issues. I know I've talked to Councilwoman Honan, and I forget who else I talked to about moving a project together through the library and the Cultural Society Committee that will show our past culture in Winthrop. That would be very moving, and I'm excited to get onto that. I know there's a lot of people that are excited about that project too. The second project I would like to talk about is a project that I think is near and dear to my heart again, is a community center. And I've said this a couple of times as we move forward into 2024, and as we eventually move forward with a new fire station. I would like that process to come together with a plan for the former firehouses as to reconstruct and maybe fundraise to have a community center where all are welcome, that we used to have in this community a lot of times, a long time ago. And I think it's much needed. And I have one more idea. Of course I do. I have so many ideas, and I'm so sorry. But I have an idea that we present to our community, because over the last 5 months, I've been trying to figure out how our government works. And it takes a lot of delving into how our committees work, when to speak at a meeting like this, to be professional, to be kind, and to be respectful to the work that you all do. And I think we all should have that in our minds as we speak to the people who are represented. Some of you ran unopposed, and so thank you. It is a huge job, and I appreciate it. And I would like to have some type of forum at WCAT, kind of like what happened on election day, where somebody would be a moderator and just tell the general public how our government works, what to do, when to speak, where to go for, if you wanted to have a memorial bench put in, or just how our government works. It's the process, and I guess it's in the charter, how our government works, but you really have to read that small, tiny print. And I have an idea about that, and I will be coming forward with that in the near future in 2024. So look forward to that. There'll be a newsletter sending out to all of you.
Thank you, Marcy. All right, we will have a second public comment period shortly. Correspondence, Denise.
We did actually, we received one from Marcy.
That was a month ago, right? That was the last meeting.
Well, from Marcy and from Valerie McNamara for Girdlestone Road and on Tileston about the flooding. The DPW is well aware of what is going on and is in the midst of handling this. Okay, then we have, from Mary Lou Osborne. She wants to thank Tracy, Barbara, and Stephen for your wonderful service to the town. I know that being an elected official is often a thankless task. Please know that your service is noted and respected by many. Wishing you all well for whatever life has next in store. She'll be reaching out on Zoom, but wants to say congratulations. Julia Wallace also sent, thank you, councilors Tracy Honan, Stephen Ruggiero, and Barbara Flockhart for their 4 years of service to our town and everything they have done to stand up and speak out for the public good. Please read this for the record during correspondence, as she had wanted to be here in person, but could not make it. Merry Christmas to all. Okay, and then we have one more from Mike DeLuzzo, who is disappointed with no Zoom, but we are live on WCAT, Mike. So, and that's it.
I have one.
And we did, nope, all that, they're all going through, did you get an email earlier?
Yep, nope,
Yeah.
hold on.
We have-
I am very sorry. Well, that was for, that was for Valerie McNamara,
And previously Colleen,
Colleen Murphy.
that's right.
Yep, Colleen Murphy.
All right, great. That's all I
apologize,
wanted to-
Colleen Murphy, yep. And that was about the flooding that is being attended by the DPW. Thank you.
There were numerous correspondence on the policy during the last couple of weeks, flag policy, right, that you received?
We had a couple on the flag policy, good, bad, ugly, so.
Thank you. Committee reports, there was a public works meeting scheduled, but I believe it was canceled, okay. School department report, school department did meet last week, and on the agenda, which was relatively brief, but they did recognize school committee woman Suzanne Swope for her years of service, I believe 6. And it probably seems like more, but it was 6. And the school committee did a really nice job in thanking her, and Suzanne did an incredible job going up and down the aisle, thanking each and every school committee member for her work with them. We are going to have the pleasure of having Suzanne join the council in a couple of weeks, so thank you, Suzanne, for your years of work on the school committee, and we welcome you to the council in the coming weeks.
Thank you,
Town managers report.
Thank you, Council President. We did have held the Comcast hearing, as I said, on December 12th, light attendance. But we went over some of the issues, talked about the contract, some of the highlights, some of the things that were changing. Did address some of the concerns that I've received over my, year and a half, almost 2 years here now with regard to, issues with Comcast, and we had the rep there. So we got it on record, we taped it, so we'll definitely be playing on WCAT for anybody that wants to see it. What to do with signal issues and, where people place the routers in their homes, some things like that, some ongoing issues. But, this is really about the, cable contract, right? It's not really the internet. So we focused in on that. We had the attorney there that was doing the contract. So we're making good progress on that. There was some questions asked last week about some of the park equipment. I do have an update on that. The slide at Crest Ave Park should be installed by January 15th. And we also took a look at some of the parks. We need some more rubberized wood chips in the parks, and we're gonna order those and get those installed in the springtime before the season kicks off. So we're making some progress on that. An update, we had the boxing match at the gym over the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. It was a great event, well attended. Everyone seemed to have a good time. At some point, we had over 300 people there, so kudos to the Park and Rec Department for doing a great job on that. Met with the last week Commission on Disability. They're doing some great work, applying for a grant with the state, trying to get some stuff done at the library. As the 504 or ADA coordinator for the town, there's some required work that I have to do, so I'm going to work with Denise on that to get some of the plans updated and some of the requirements that the state has for the grant application, so we're going to make sure we get that in. So I enjoyed meeting with that group. They're doing a lot of great work, so thank you for that. Did attend the police department gala last Saturday night, and then this past Thursday night, we had the town employee party, so thanks to all the counselors that came. That was a great event. I know the employees appreciated that. And this was planned over a month and a half ago, but thanks to Chief Delahanty, for the invite. But the Lappin Foundation hosted and offered us a trip down to DC, a one-day down and back tour of the Holocaust Memorial. And the gear of the program is for law enforcement. So, you do the tour in the morning, walk the museum. And then after lunch, they had a seminar, and it was all law enforcement chiefs and things like that. But they've really focused on, the Holocaust, what happened, when Hitler came into power in 1933, and how local law enforcement, changed, and the whole process, leading up to, 1945. And I had a good conversation with, how law enforcement is viewed today in the media. It was just really educational and thought-provoking, so I thank the chief for the invite. It was a long day, down and back to DC in a day, but it was a very enlightening and educational process, so I thank him for that. So, and then lastly, I'm going to pass it to the chief. We had a lot going on yesterday with the storm, so I know Chief Delahanty's got a quick update on the storm.
Thank you, Town Manager. Of course, I pulled the short straw tonight. Chief Wiley couldn't make it, so I'm filling in.
Yeah.
He's our emergency manager, of course. Steve Calla, myself, and Scott work tirelessly during any major storm, and yesterday was no different. So it's not just one person that's presenting the information. It's a team effort. And our phones started around 7 o'clock in the morning and didn't stop until about midnight last night. So thanks to Scott and his efforts in working with National Grid, we were able to get everyone 100% restored by midnight last night. Overlook came on first. That was connected to the incident down by the high school in Ocean View, and our traffic lights were also connected to that incident down by the high school. So the high school went on generator power. They stayed in session. They were able to serve cold meals and sandwiches throughout the day, so that didn't affect it. At least they did a great job. Instead of releasing the 700 kids, kept them in the school, kept them busy, kept them out of the wind, rain, and the falling trees. So we appreciate her effort as well. Scott Wiley's crews responded to 74 calls for service in the 24-hour period. Their normal call volume is about 10 or 11 calls for service. He did bring in additional firefighters to assist and augment his on-shift crews, who responded to a lot of wires down, power outages, flooded basements because the sub pumps weren't working, and those type of calls. He wants to specifically acknowledge Captain Mike Lopez, Lieutenant John Rich, firefighters Mochito, Ramadani, Hurley, Cruisenberry, and Kane for their tireless efforts throughout the day. It's important to note firefighter Kane recently graduated from the Mass Fire Academy, and yesterday was her first day on the job. So, baptism by fire, as we call it. And I just have a couple other additional non-storm related activities. Of course, DPW was vital in trying to remove some branches and clear the streets so we can get the kids to school today, and also handling some potholes and sinkholes that were created over the storm in some of the areas, such as Crest Ave and Grove, and those specific requests from the police and fire. Tony mentioned the police gala. It's actually an Explorer fundraiser. We do a Christmas party every year as an Explorer fundraiser that offers and affords them the opportunity to actually participate in the national conference, which is at a different location every year. They've been to Arizona, they've been to Atlanta, and several other locations throughout the United States. So that fundraiser was very successful. It raised over $7,000 in funds for them to continue participating in the mass conferences as well as the national conferences. So thanks to everyone who participated and showed up and sponsored the event. All their donations were certainly critical in raising those funds. We've had two major scams in the last several weeks. One was the Bitcoin scam, in which we put an advisory out. It's on the town public safety page, and the town manager pushes out through his Facebook page and newsletters as well. But the Bitcoin scam was perpetrated international scam that they called usually elderly people. This particular one kept the person on the phone for several hours. The person has a hearing aid and was able to listen to them as she went to the bank, and they told her exactly what to say at each bank to get the money. And then she went to the Bitcoin machine in Revere, Deputy Chief and the detectives did a great job securing the machine immediately, looking at the video, assuring that no one else went in that machine. Since the deposit happened, we executed search warrants, which was a lot of back and forth between the town manager, myself, and the district attorney's office, because Bitcoins, they don't like to execute search warrants. We were able to secure the $34,000 in proceeds out of the machine. We anticipate follow-up investigations, and further subpoenas have been issued to a company in Japan that kind of has ignored us to this point. So at some point, we will go in under a motion and to the judge who issued the search warrant to return the proceeds for crime to the victim. We anticipate Bitcoin coming in and challenging those motions, but that's how we're gonna handle it, and that's how we're gonna try to restore this person and make her whole. But again, this is very common, and this was a large sum of money, but it's $5,000, it's $8,000, it's $10,000. Over the last 3 years, I've seen probably hundreds of thousands of dollars being siphoned from elderly, grandparents, parents. So please, it's so many scams out there. Call us at the police station, check with us, hang up on them, call a loved one. It's usually, hey, we have someone, your nephew or your grandson under arrest. You give us $5,000, we'll release them. If it's a car accident scam, they're injured and they need help, they're in the hospital. So you get this Bitcoin one, and then the most recent one, the check washing scam. So don't, and I say this in hindsight, because it's always easy to give advice in hindsight. Don't mail checks, money orders in blue mailboxes. They can be fished out and taken out if they don't have anti-theft devices in them. And a lot of them recently have been mailed at the post office right outside in Michael's Mall, on the blue blocks outside, or blue blocks here on Herman Street. We've had about 9 victims of check washings. They get the checks, they wash them in chemicals, and they're able to write the check to themselves and then go cash the check. So, people's mortgage payments and so forth have been mailed out, and they've been made whole. Most of them have been made whole by the bank, but the key is we have an advisory out, and it's basically telling people use black gel pens to fill out checks. They're harder to wash. But again, go inside the post office, put your checks in someone's hand or inside where they have those mail slots to go right into their mail room. So no one, the other thing is we know other people have been stealing those keys to the blue mailboxes as well. They've been robbing mailmen to get those keys, and then once you have one key, you can go to basically any blue box and open it. So secure, never mail cash to anyone. Go inside and hand it or send it through right into the mail slot, and don't rely on the blue boxes to do your mail. But that's all I have as an update. We did have one child get struck by a car yesterday morning during the height of the wind and rain down by the middle school. The child is fine. They was transported to the hospital as a precaution. And I looked at the video just prior to coming over here, and the video shows there was 2 trucks parked in traffic. The child runs between the 2 trucks in a crosswalk, and the oncoming car never sees the child because they're 2 SUVs. So that was the incident down on Main Street yesterday morning, and I just want everyone to know, the most important thing, the child's safe. And he returning to school today. So thank you. I'll answer any questions as directed by the council president.
Just one.
Yes.
Anybody affected by power outages, it's all been restored, is that accurate?
Most of, all neighborhoods have been restored.
Okay.
So there might be 1 or 2 homes that have a service issue, that service line has a tree that fell on it. And, obviously they're doing those one-offs.
Yep.
Continuously. But as of this morning, the only apartments that I knew of was Walden Street, 5 and 7.
Okay.
And they were on a priority list to get restored immediately, so priority 1 list for National Grid, because they have elderly people that reside there.
Yep.
And Scott Wiley informed me that they were back on.
All right.
So,
Thank you, Chief.
you're welcome.
A couple of things. First, I just want to say, yesterday, I've been out sort of early afternoon and understood the police were deployed in a variety of places. The fire department was as well. I came driving up Washington Street, Pleasant Street, approaching Bartlett Road, and I saw the arcing about a quarter mile away from me of 4 explosions, boom, 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 boom. Couple of people in cars just froze in place. It was unbelievable. I called 911, and I didn't say I was a town council or anything. I gotta tell you, Captain Lopez happened to be in the truck. The response was immediate, it was professional, they got everybody to safety, they dealt with the entirety of the neighborhood, dealt with National Grid. It was just stunning how quickly they could react to a situation like that when it was very clear that they were busy across the town. So just want to make sure you convey that personal appreciation for that. The second, is there anything you can share with respect to the investigation of the hacking that we had at the last meeting?
Yes, so I can share some generalizations with you. It's still under investigation, and we are still working with the multiple partners, including the ADL Extremist Center, who have informed us, and also multiple other sources. Some in Washington have informed us that this crew has considered themselves the city council of Despot, and they've been doing this across the nation. Their IP addresses are very difficult because they were able to jump their IP addresses, so you never get to the IP address. So they use technology to their advantage. And again, I think I made this quite clear with the news when we were asked to do a press conference. Is we understand there's a free speech portion of this, but it's my job to make sure that they don't pose a threat to anyone in Winthrop. And that's what we're investigating. We're not investigating speech, we're investigating to ensure that these people do not pose a threat to any person inside this community. So we are still working on it. We take it seriously, and obviously the ADL has put it into their database. The FBI has it in their database, the screen names they're using. So as they come up across the nation, we're informed right away that if they ever identified, we will get that notification. So that's what I can share with you, and it's still an active, ongoing investigation.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief. It's unfortunate sometimes that we use weather emergencies or whatever it happens to be to show our appreciation to you and your staff and Chief Wiley and Director Calla, but we thank you every day. 7/24, you don't really get a day off, or your department doesn't, and we thank you for all you do to keep us safe and comfortable. So thank you.
I just want to say thank you to the councilors who are leaving for your time and your service. We know how hard it is, and the councilors who will remain, we look forward to continuing to work with you, and the new ones that are going to be added. We'll say that they're swearing in.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Chief. CDICR is meeting tomorrow evening.
Yep.
And as I talk about them, I just want to thank John Morgan, who has stepped down from that committee. John just does so much for this town. We thank him for all he has done for this committee, and thank him for his future endeavors, which I'm sure will be plenty filled. And on to old business. There was a motion made, and this is more procedural than anything else, but there's a motion to withdraw from Councilor Belcher. An original motion that was made back on February 21st, 2023, the town council meeting, that the town council votes to authorize town manager to research new electricity service options for the town. And there was a second to withdraw by Councilor Flockhart. And this is just to rewrite it in its correct form. So I believe now, so there is a motion and a second on the floor to withdraw. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Now, the text of the correct motion would be, motion that the town council authorize the town manager and appropriate departments to research, develop, and execute a contract or contracts to aggregate the electricity load of the residents and businesses in the town for any other related services independently, or in joint action with other municipalities, and authorize the town manager to execute all documents necessary to accomplish the same, as authorized by Mass General Law, Chapter 164, Section 134A. That motion is made by Councilor Belcher. There's a second on the motion, second by Councilor Aiello. Discussion on this motion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you. New business, town council appropriate $40,000 from retained earnings in the Rink Enterprise Funds for repairs, mechanical equipment. This motion is going to be referred to finance. Second round of public comment. Father Walter.
My name is Walter Conley. I'm precinct 1. I'm also the rector of St. John's Episcopal Church in Winthrop. And as of June, I retired as the secretary for the Commission for Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Relations. So first, I would like to commend the council for the opening statement they had this evening. It was just on point, appropriate, and specific to what happened, and I applaud you for that. Secondly, I would like to raise an issue I've spoken to the council before about. The commission had recommended twice with regard to a flag policy, just to fly the American flag, the state flag, and the POW flag. When the policy was created, we had major concerns specifically around the term sentiment as a nebulous legal principle. And I came and I spoke on that and gave specific examples of why we had concerns about it. One of them was, you're gonna get a request to fly an Israeli Palestinian flag, and it's gonna put you in a bind. I am concerned that we're gonna proceed with that, and I know that it's not glamorous, but it is wise and it is prudent to resort to your older policy in order to be fully inclusive, and so we can focus on the residents of this community. I just find that the policy does not have sufficient safeguards to protect everybody. And in terms of sentiment, as a gay man, I don't want my rights relying on any sentiment. I want it relying on law and principle. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Father. Any other public comment? Karen?
Karen Chavez, precinct 2. I waited for the town meeting to get through because, I don't know, did I miss it? Was the tax rate set?
Yeah, the last meeting.
Did I miss it?
Nope, it was part of the tax classification hearing, they made the motion
I
to,
don't recall hearing what.
they make the motion to, sorry if I could.
Yep.
Just, to make to vote the single rate, tax rate was set at $10.42,
Oh, that's what I wanted to,
Yeah.
I must have missed.
$10.42, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
John?
Hi, John Morgan, precinct 4. I just want to say to Councilor Honan, thank you for your service to the town, and to Vice President Ruggiero for your service also, and and you will be missed.
Thank you.
And of course, my Councilor Flockhart, thank you for everything over the last 4 years, especially every time I called you, you answered the phone, even if you knew it was me. And I just want to say thank you for that, and I hope everything in your future goes well. And Suzanne, I have a spare speed dial number for you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, John.
I say that now.
Yes, Marcy.
I'm sorry, one more comment. I came here tonight to talk about a few ideas that I had. I also came here to talk about how decorum really matters at these meetings. And when you call or Zoom or speak at a meeting, at a public comment time, please remember that we are all community members, and to use respectful language and to use protocols that demand compassion, respect, and unity when you're speaking, whether it's in a chair or on TV. It's really important you all come to us to serve out of your goodness of your heart, and I appreciate that. And when we want to move the town forward, we should move it in a respectful way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marcy. Any other public comment? All right, we will close public comment, and we will do public relations. Public relations on January 2nd, 2024, we will have the swearing-in ceremony. It will be at 6 o'clock at the Winthrop High School auditorium. Town council meeting will immediately follow, and that will be swearing in for all elected officials. There are also board members needed for different committees throughout the town. Please contact the town clerk for more information. And before we adjourn, I would like to hand out a couple of citations here. And, you know, we are losing 3 counselors, and, you know, time goes by really quickly. And Barbara and Steve and Tracy have been here for 4 years, and, you know, they've each brought different traits to the council. Steve, I feel like, and no, just feels like you came in a young boy and you're leaving him. Just, you know, thank you. I mean, I've been here for a long time, and we have always had, fortunately, we've had a lawyer on the council, and we've always had a lawyer as the head of Rules and Finance, and you took on that responsibility without that title. And I thank you for that. You did an incredible job. You put in timeless hours, and, you know, on behalf of the town and the council, we thank you for that, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And Barbara, you've been a calming influence to a lot of us. Your work ethic is second to none. You've put in the time needed, and we very much appreciate that. And Tracy, you know, thank you for all you've done. It's funny because, you know, it's not we might not disagree a lot, but some of the best conversations I've had with councilors individually over the last 18 years have been with you, and I thank you for that, and I thank you for the time and effort you put in. So the first citation, be it known that the Winthrop Town Council hereby offers its congratulations to Barbara Flockhart, Councilor Precinct 4. Town Council Committees, Chair of Public Health and Safety Committee, Public Works Committee, Appointments, Commissions, and Committees. January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2023, the entire town of Winthrop and many lives you have touched with your professionalism and determination to help within our community, especially Precinct 4, will not be forgotten. We wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. Signed this day, 19th day of December 2023 by the Winthrop Town Council. Thank you, Barbara. And just a little token of our esteem. And be it known that the Winthrop Town Council hereby offers its congratulations to Tracy Honan, Councilor at Large, Town Council Committees, Finance Committee, Public Health and Safety Committee, Intergovernmental Strategies, January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2023. And again, the entire town of Winthrop and many of the lives that you have touched with your professionalism and determination to help within our community will not be forgotten, and we wish you nothing but the best in all your future endeavors. Signed this 19th day of December 2023, Winthrop, Massachusetts. Thank you, Tracy. And be it known that the Winthrop Town Council offers its congratulations to Vice President Stephen Ruggiero, Councilor Precinct 6, Town Council Committees, Chair of Rules and Ordinance Committee, Finance Committee, Appointments, Commissions, and Committees, January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2023. And again, once again, and this is all from the heart, the entire town of Winthrop thanks you and the many lives that you have touched with your professionalism, determination to help our community, especially Precinct 6 residents, will not be forgotten, and we wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. Signed this 19th day of December 2023. Thank you, Vice President. say it's like buying a boat, right? The first day in is the best day, and the day you sell it is the second best day, but thank you all. It is, you know, it's been said in a lot of ways, it's a thankless job, and to put your name on a ballot and to serve for those 4 years is incredibly appreciated, and we thank you very much. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Actually, would
Press-
you mind if I said a few thank yous?
Oh, absolutely not, I'm sorry. Counselor Honan.
I just want to thank the citizens of Winthrop for allowing me to serve in this capacity as a town councilor and putting your trust in me. I've met so many wonderful people that I don't think I would have otherwise met if I wasn't in my position as the town councilor. And that includes everybody here in this room. I want to thank my fellow councilors who I've enjoyed working with. You challenge me, and we've had a lot of fun. And it's been real. I've learned a great deal in the past 4 years, and I hope to continue to serve this community in other ways when my 2 weeks are up. Thank you very much.
I'd also like to thank everybody, especially in Precinct 4. But I'd like to thank all the counselors that I've worked with, which has been a real pleasure getting to know each one of you and working closely with you. As somebody who's only lived here 32 years, I'm still a newbie. And it's been a pleasure getting to know so much more about the town, so many more people, and I really feel like I understand so much better about Winthrop now. It's been a wonderful learning experience, and I've enjoyed serving.
Thank you very much. Vice President Bureau?
Thank you. Yeah, I do have something prepared, and, you know, I was gonna keep it short, but then I thought of all the... I promise it'll be brief, but, you know, it's been 4 years, 3 town managers, 2 of which are here today, 2 council presidents, and 1 hell of a ride. And with that, my term on the town council has finally come to a close. Over the course of the past few weeks, I've spent some time reflecting on my tenure, and I'm truly proud of everything that we've accomplished, even in the face of what seemed sometimes as overwhelming and unforeseen adversity. Some of the things that have happened these past 4 years, no one could predict, and I think we did a really good job of handling them. Since I announced I was not running for re-election, people have asked me, am I gonna miss it? What am I gonna miss the most? And just like leaving any job or any position, the hardest part is always separating from the people that you work with so closely on a day-to-day basis. And those are some of the people that I want to thank in the next few minutes. But through my time here, similar to what Tracy was saying, I've met some truly, truly incredible people. And I'll be reaching out to many of you personally over the course of the next days, weeks, and months, thanking them. But for now, I'd just like to make a few specific thank yous. And first is to my constituents in Precinct 6 and throughout the town of Winthrop. It's been an absolute honor to serve in this capacity, and I want to thank you for electing me to this position, for trusting a 27-year-old with your vote and your support when I originally ran, and it was just an absolute honor of a lifetime, so thank you to the people of this town. And I'm confident that you are in good hands moving forward with your newly elected officials that are coming in. I'd like to thank my fellow council members, both past and present, and I couldn't think of a more dynamic group of people to live these shared experiences with over the past 4 years. I will value the time that we've spent together, and I know that I'll keep in touch with many of you for many years to come. One fun fact about this council that we had pieced together few meetings ago was that we have representation of people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I'm not going to say who's in what bucket, but that was something that I thought was truly unique and impressive, and I haven't served in many organizations like that in the past, so I thought that was really cool, and I just wanted the public to hear that as well. But very honored to be a part of this group. Next, I'd like to thank Speaker DeLeo for inspiring me to pursue opportunities in public and civic service. In the fall of 2009 or the spring of 2010, Speaker DeLeo came to Mrs. Flanagan's American government class at Winthrop High School, and then he talked about what it was to be the Speaker of the House and how government worked, and then he brought us all on a field trip to the State House. And then that summer, he allowed me to intern in his office before entering college. And that was the summer where they were debating the gaming bill, the legalized casino gambling. And so that was a firsthand education on sort of the value of government and how organizations like government can help others. And it was at this point that I realized that I wanted to dip my toe into that water, and I wanted to help make an impact. So thank you for being a friend, a mentor, and making such an impact on, at the time, what was a curious 17-year-old Winthrop High School American government student, and to think that, about 10 years later, I'd be serving on the town council, I think. It's not something I saw then, but something that I always wanted, and so I really appreciate him kind of making that impact on me at such a young age. I'd like to thank my friends, both old and new, and near and far, for being there with me through thick and thin. Thank you for putting up with me, oftentimes, when I was sort of ignoring what was actually going on right in front of me because I was distracted thinking about something that Tony was running us through, or maybe the next Chiefs update, or that email that Mike D sent to me about parking spots. And, I was, I think, really distracted the last 4 years, and I want to thank all my friends for kind of putting up with that. And I want to thank you all for, offering your advice when I asked, or I guess even when I didn't ask. And I'd like to thank you for holding signs and donating to my campaign and being supportive strategically, mentally, and emotionally. And for those of you that have been with me since day one, and you know who you are from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And last, and certainly not least, I'd like to thank my family. And before the title of counselor, I am a son and a grandson to the best parents and grandparents that anyone could ask for. Thank you to my grandparents, Violenti and Frank, my parents, Stephen Sr. and Martha, for coming along this journey with me throughout the highs and the lows, but nonetheless supporting me at every step of the way. Thank you for the patience you've had with me over the past 4 years when things have been stressful and when sometimes I put the council work and obligations over family life. And thank you for the sacrifices that you've made to allow me to pursue all of my dreams and goals, both personally and professionally. And with that, I would like to conclude with wishing the remaining members of this council and the incoming councilors a best of luck, and I am excited to see what you will accomplish in the next session. Thank you.
Anything, Council Munson?
I was just going to say a few brief words. Happy holidays. I really wanted to just say specifically, thank you to the police and fire and DPW and Tony and the whole crew for getting us through this storm. It was a real kind of wake-up call to how bad things can get. And granted, the power was back, as you said, to everybody by midnight, but it felt like it could have gone on for days, and there's a possibility that in the future it might. So I think this was a good wake-up call, and I just want to thank you guys for making our public safety this town's #1 priority, and it is ours too. And, that's, what I take going forward is I always choose the side of peace and safety, and that's what I'm going to continue doing for 2024 and for the rest of my term here. Including the priority of the flooding down in Girdlestone, which we do need to take care of. But I would be remiss if I didn't say goodbye and thank you for the 3 people that are leaving us tonight. It will be sad to not have your faces here and to not have your wit, your charm, your intelligence, your integrity, your bravery. It's going to be sad. But we'll move on and we'll keep going. We got great new people coming on board. So looking forward to 2024. And lastly, happy holidays to everybody. Please enjoy the holidays the best you can. Thank you.
Council Honan? Yeah. I see, I just wanted to say it one more time. Counselor Belcher.
No, just to echo what's already been said, thank you to Councilors Honan, Flockhart, and Ruggiero. It's really been a pleasure to work with you guys, and you've set a really great example for different ways to be a counselor and be effective in the community, so thank you.
Before I go to Counselor DeMarco, I just want to thank you for your incredible attire tonight.
Thanks.
Counselor DeMarco.
I'd like to say I was doing it for the outgoing counselors, but I actually had a job interview today that was canceled. And I had this suit already ready to go. So I was going to actually say a lot of things about Counselor Honan and Counselor Flockhart and Vice President Ruggiero, but you guys have all done such a great job. You guys know I love you, and I'll be talking to you guys after the meeting a lot, I'm sure. One thing that I did want to say that was serious is, you know, we had I thought the town did a great job celebrating Hanukkah last week. You know, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa, anything you celebrate, whatever you celebrate, have a great time with your family. But I also want to recognize that there are a lot of people out there who are suffering right now, and the holidays are a very hard time for people, for a lot of people, whether you're, you know, battling addiction, whether you're in a dark place, whether you're suffering from mental illness or financial difficulty. You know, please, you know, reach out to people during the holidays that you think might need a hand. The town has services, and I'm glad the chief is here. You know, you're not alone. Somebody is always there for you, and we're there for you, and the town of Winthrop is there for you. So don't be afraid. Never be afraid to reach out if you need help. You know, the town is here for you.
Counselor Ayala?
Well, let me say, this is why I love this guy. Honestly, he has the inner strength to say things that sometimes we're not strong enough to say. I mean, it's just remarkable. And you do it meeting after meeting, and really appreciate it. But I'm gonna still be here. It's still kicking me under the table. So, cut it out, I'm moving. Just to Councilor Honan, Councilor Flockhart, Vice President Ruggiero, I've got to say, I'm one of those people on the upper end of that spectrum you described. I've got to say, the three of you have all been incredible teachers to me to get me to understand how municipal government works, how to deal with both the policy, the politics, and the mechanics of what has to get done. And I think the fact that you have spread that wisdom through this board makes this board have a stronger platform to be effective on behalf of the citizens of this town. So thank you for all that. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And on behalf of the council, we just want to wish everyone a very merry, happy, and safe Christmas, a happy holiday season, a very happy New Year. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Councilor Flockhart, second by Councilor Honan and Ruggiero. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Meeting adjourned.